We'll go live. You don't have to wait until the actual time. I never do anyway. This will be the last podcast for a while. I'll be having Jack Napier and Rurb. Everybody loves Rurb. Everybody loves Raymond. Everybody hates Rurb. Good old Rob. He's such a character. We're so lucky. I know look, take the victories where you can. Could you imagine a more colorful character than Rurb? Everyone goes to robsays.net and check them out. But, we all give each other guff. But you got to think of the colorful characters we got. So there's Rurb, crotchety old man let me tell you about women, Jack. And he always sounds like he's constipated. He's got the do-rag on his head. And then you got Jack, who looks like Steve Buscemi's illegitimate son. You got TJ Martinell, who's freaking Captain America's woman wanted 50 years ago. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. So those guys. Oh, we got the Juan the Aztec Patriarch. He's even a cartoonish figure. So those guys will be covering for me over the next 2 weeks. I will also have Ryan Stone and Carl. If you guys know Carl, he wrote the book Gendernomics, and those two are really good together. And I said, hey, if you guys would cover for me, I'd really appreciate it. So there's that. And Cappy is, and I got to be off the internet in about an hour, probably 45 minutes, only because I got an inspector coming to take a look at my house. So I'll give you a quick update on Cappy's world, which is going to have some important ramifications for all of you, because I would like to benefit everybody in my listening audience. I have gone through, not to have it all be about me, but fuck you guys, because it's me. It's been tiring. And I think I've lost 10 pounds. I don't know. Some of you guys said I look ill and emaciated. And Cappy, you don't look good. And it could be that because I've been so busy with this house, not only doing normal stuff like assembling furniture, regular things that would normally come with it. Oh, we got to get towels. You got to literal miles walking around through Menards. And Menards is huge. If you guys don't have Menards, it's the homey depot of the upper Midwest. Menards is a large company based out of Eau Claire, Wisconsin. And just ordering things on the interweb, switching stuff over from bank accounts to new bank accounts, one LLC to the other, but doobie-dee. And that unto itself was going to be a taxing thing. And then also, like everybody else, my contractors are shit. They have yet to finish certain jobs. They're slowly getting there, but there's such demand for contractors with this housing bubble, and I'm officially calling it a bubble now because price to rents are at the exact same spot they were back in 2006, 2007. The cash flow isn't there. Now it can crash up. Everybody look crash up. That's I think it was a Miesian, Austrian economics concept. But anyway, and it's this great, interesting philosophy. Let me tell you, kids, about the interesting philosophy and how the real world works. The GF, because of her female nature and the fact that she's female, and I'm sorry for you girls, because you don't have logic. You just don't. I'm kidding, partially. Okay, I'm trying to be tongue-in-cheek. This is a joke. It's not sexism. I know the smartest person I ever knew was a woman, and she still is the smartest person I ever know. Women are capable of every blah, 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 blah. But by God, you girls have this idealism. You really got this but it should be this way. It's like, yeah, but it ain't. It ain't. Now, who is ultimately responsible for that? Like, it's my house, and I'll give you towel racks. Not sexy. Not the end of the world. Well, they should have installed towel racks. Yes, they should have. Yes, they absolutely should have. And by the way, if you want to make donations are going to me to pay other contractors to do gas work, because I don't want to do electrical work or gas work because I'd probably screw it up. And you screw up flooring. All right, you're fine. You screw up sheetrock. You screw up gas. It might be an explosion. You screw up electricity. You might electrocute yourself and burn the house down. That's where the new money's going to go to. We're not there yet. We're not across the finish line. But it is fascinating to me how the disproportionate sex drive because men want sex more than women at a rate roughly anywhere between 7 to 15 times. Let's call it 9. How that shields you girls from reality. But this should have worked this way. Yes, I know you're accustomed to the whole world working around you. But you see, the whole world doesn't want to have sex with me because I'm a guy. You have that magic thing between your legs. I don't. Even if you were to be a good, like they're not, maybe they give you a little bit of preferential treatment, but this fact of reality that, well, they didn't put in the towel racks. Hey, we can argue about it or we can deal with it. But you shouldn't have, yeah, you're right, I shouldn't have to, but do you want towel racks or not? And I've it's been a very interesting psychological, philosophical observation, kind of a scientific experiment where this concept of should is so ingrained disproportionately in women's minds. But let's not joke. Let's be honest too. Some men, I should have my student loans forgiven because I'm a philosophy major. I'm going to help out the minorities and the womans and the Twildwins. Right? But it's like, yeah, okay. So we should have a toilet. Can you shit? Oh, you can't shit because there ain't no toilet. Would you want to wait for the toilet to be installed or do you want me to do it myself? Now, I didn't have to install toilets. I'm just giving you an example. And the hang up that gals have, like, we should this, it's like, yeah, welcome to being a guy, essentially. Yeah, things should have worked out a certain way. They should have worked out a certain way, but they didn't. They didn't. Now, who ultimately doesn't own it, I guess, but is responsible for it? You are. You're responsible for your own situation. Now you got to sit there and whine and complain. You got to do something about it. This gets back to the whole point. I've had this theory. It's not even a theory. I mean, if I applied some basic math, like professional activists or protesters or people just on the left bitching and whining all the time. Like if you took half your time and worked a real job, your situation would improve. Whether you're an activist or a feminist or a racial activist, like, oh, I'm so oppressed. Well, if you literally took the calories of energy you bitched and whined, there's this Seattle, not congressman, Seattle, what do they call him? City councilman? Not a parish. Parish is down in Louisiana. Whatever. He's on the city council. And his entire life is bitching about white people. He's Black Panther, this and that. And I got to kind of sit there and, okay, like, look, now he's old. He's like in his 70s. I've studied this guy. It's an interesting yet tragic case of wasted life. Where it's like, okay, look, man, I understand back in your day in the 60s, yeah, there was Jim Crow and legitimate racism and all that. But you've lived your whole life hating whitey. Like, when do you let go? When do you say, all right, there's some disadvantages. I'm a short guy. Girls aren't going to like me. I'm predisposed to cancer. I'm this or that. I'm black. I'm Hispanic. Whatever, you got a deuce in the 5 cards dealt to you in your poker hand of life. But in the end, that's the hand you got dealt. And in the end, how are you going to play it? Like, I don't control. I'm short. The city councilman from Seattle, he doesn't control that he's black. Girls aren't controlling that they're born female. And the shoulda world has enslaved and destroyed, kept more people in poverty than the communists probably have now. Where you're hoping out for this should. It's like, yeah, you know what? Girls should like a nice guy. Girls should like the guy that works hard. And girls should like a guy who's short. You know what? They don't. Yes, white people in the 60s and 70s or 50s shouldn't have discriminated against black or anybody else for that. No one should be discriminated. But you know what? They did. Now, do you want to sit there and boo-hoo-hoo and waste your life? The pink pussy hat protests. Holy pissing way of time, Batman. Don't you think if you would have gone and spent that exact same amount of time and money Hell, what if you just threw the money into the S&P 500? Don't you think you come out further financially ahead? I'm going to major in whatever, social justice, the women's study, African and hyphenate. Well, what if you majored in chemical engineering? I wouldn't make as much as what? The Asian chemical engineer, the white chemical, the male engineer. Okay. You would have made a hell of a lot more than this professional bitch and whine and crying protest. And this concept of should, it's like, yeah, no, it's an ideal. It's a concept. It's a theory. It's what we should all be aiming for. But once things don't turn out the way they should, now they become is what is. And now you got to deal with it. And I'm just like looking at it. I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, that's how it goes. And I'm much more mature about it. And a lot of my time has been spent, doing things that normally contractors should have done. We put up some mirrors, put some towel racks. These are not major things. It takes time. There's also assembling stuff. I had to do some drainage work a little bit. This is all, I've owned property before. So it's not like, yeah, that should have gotten done. That should have gotten done. You know who poor people are? You know who miserable people are? People who live and then wait for things that should happen but aren't going to happen. It's just amazing. What they've been like, I'm even to the point philosophically, esoterically, stoically, to the point like, it doesn't even bother me no more. Like, it is what it is. Now, of course, I got Cappy was somewhat of a hard negotiator. I'm like, I'm not paying you for your managerial fee. I had to do all this stuff. So I did get a fair amount of money off of my final closing statement. But it's the practicality, the reality, which is staring me right in the face. And I'm wondering, generally, again, I'm painting with a broad brush, and not to say it doesn't apply to men, but you girls, because guys want to fuck your pussy, are so shielded from the real world. You're not where the rubber hits the road. You are so removed from where the rubber hits the road in the real world because guys want to fuck you that you're just like, you really do believe in the world of should. So much so now I can understand people having a moral, ethical angst, indignation or righteous indignation about, hey, this should have been done. Right. Morals, principles, ethics. Got it. Yeah. Now, but then they get to the far. So I understand that when you get pissed off where Bob said he'd be here at 3 and here at 3. Okay. I get that. But then to go to such a delusional world that big is beautiful. Tell me, ladies, do you have the map? Can I get the nation's map to Shoulda Land? Can I get the map? Could you show me where, like, your capital spelled with TOL? What would the capital be of Shoulda Land? Perfect Town. Can you show me the diagram for Perfect Town and Utopiaville? And just the amount of time wasted, the amount of energy and psychology wasted. But this now brings me to another philosophical observation. This is very important. I've concluded now, I've been in South Dakota and I've been coming here for 15 years, very regularly. I know the culture, I know the people. And whether it's Texas, South Dakota, North Dakota, Montana, Idaho, not Wyoming, because you guys know my opinion about Wyoming. You all know, like, oh, there's still a little bit of America left. We're going to go out to the rural parts. We're going to go where the red states or the red counties. We got to get out of the city. And I hate to say it, but that 1940s, 1950s, old school World War II Korean vet Americans, that's gone. That's gone. And more or less South Dakota is a bunch of who-dang-diggly, do-dang-digglyvilles. And even though it's white, Republican, conservative, gun-toting American, they're idiots out here. They're idiots. And this is a very important thing to understand, okay? And you have legitimate complaints and criticisms about foreign immigrants coming in here legally or not, changing the genetic makeup of the country. You're going to turn it more socialist, and you could argue whatever cultures, whether it's Islam coming in with the Somalis in Minnesota and they got Sharia law, it doesn't matter. The native population even good old hoo dang diggly do Americans who wear a shirt like this but probably don't run or work out or anything like that. They're the native population, real Americans, are worthless. They're dumb. They're slow. I'll go through how many ways do you want to count at this time? First, they can't find anyone to work at the restaurants. Now, if you don't know Rapid City is a more or less a tourist town during summer, certainly during summer, because there's Mount Rushmore, the Badlands, the Black Hills, Sturgis Rally, all within not even 50 miles of Rapid City. And they can't find people to work. Why? Not because Joe Biden pays people not to work, and Donald Trump did too. But the native population, be you yellow, black, or white, you are children in the sight. Jesus loves the little millennials of the world. Nobody wants to work because they're getting paid not to. You can't go to Perkins. You can't go to IHOP. You got to go to the IHOP out in Spearfish if you want to get yourself like seated in a reasonable amount of time. The native population, regardless of skin color or gender, is too fucking lazy. All right? Another thing, all right, the people out here are dumb and slow. Now, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, especially if you've driven on Interstate 35, which I think runs all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico and it ends in Duluth, Minnesota. All right, so we got a lot of Texans that come in because that's the main drag. Texans are slow, dumb fucking people. They're dumb fucking people. They're always driving slow. The only people worse, there's only two people from the states that are worse than Texas drivers, and that is Nebraskans and Wisconsinites. Okay? Now, I don't know if you knew this, Texans are a Republican town or state, and they come up with the hoo dang diggly double doodle wide ding dang diggly truck nuts truck, and their Sam Elliott Dodge Ram pickup truck, and they're driving dumb and slower than fuck. Same thing here. South Dakotans are dumb and slow as fuck. Now, maybe they have a high IQ and they're just slow. I don't discriminate or delineate between the two. Okay? They're dumb, slow people. And their children are lazy motherfuckers. And there ain't no America left. Now, we'll still survive because we're the world's largest economy and greatest military, blah, 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 blah. But if you are looking for like this place to retreat to, if you're looking for a place where people have their shit together, it is not in the United States. Okay, it isn't. We're just living off the infrastructure. It's carrion that the vultures are digesting right now and eating off of. There's no vital, real part of America left anymore. And I'm about in the most conservative Republican. I mean, they got Trump signs everywhere and American flags. There's a guy with his truck driving around and a U.S. flag. Don't tread on me. The Southern Confederate flag and a fourth flag. I forget. He was driving down. That guy doesn't show up to work on time. It is Wyoming out here. And so to benefit all of you, I've officially concluded I got to get out. Just build a fucking house. I kind of knew like I was going to have a plan B. I'm like, no, this will not stand. I like literally the single thread of fabric keeping this country together is the fact that we have the world's largest military and the world's reserve currency, which is backed up by a world's military, ultimately speaking. And the fact, as Turd Flinging Monkey says, the United States is the smartest kid on the short bus, but we're still a short bus and we're not improving. And when you come to good old South Dakota, America, which is great, by the way, I love the state, I love the land, but it's just like, oh my God, you're never going to go the speed limit. You're never going to go the speed limit. Rapid City ain't even that big of a town. There should be no traffic. There is traffic. Why? Because who dang diggly do dang diggly Bob has to drive 25 in a 45 zone. God, it's double dual. Why? I don't even understand that. I don't understand this. Tell me, old people, and it's old people, young people too, but tell me, old people, why do you have a sports car or a large engine truck? Why do you have an 8-cylinder engine if you're not going to go the speed limit? Why don't y'all get Priuses? Measures the size of your dick. Why are you even wasting the money on that thing? And what's really sad, and this is more of a testament to the boomers because these are not South Dakotans, these are tourists that come in. They have different car rallies. It's like there's a Mustang rally, and then there's a Mini Cooper rally, and then there's a Porsche rally. And you can tell because like you'll see a group of Corvettes go by. Oh, it must be the Corvette rally. They had, different weeks. And they all kind of separate so you don't have rallies at the same time. And you get behind these. It's the same thing with the Sturgis rally. Like, you got these boomers coming in with the motorcycles. Like a motorcycle, unless it's like a small engine, like a 250, and even then, if you don't have a bitch on the back, you should be able to go pretty fast. These guys don't. It's geriatric season. You got a Shelby. You got a ZR1. Why are you going fucking 25 miles an hour in a 45 mile an hour zone? Oh, because you're a dumb, lazy, stupid millennial baby boomer Gen Z fuck. You're just stupid. I got a Mustang, Ma. Like, oh, you boomers. And so whereas I never had this idea that I wasn't so delusional, think that South Dakota was going to be this utopia panacea, just be a place to repark my wealth in the form of a house, not have it burned down by Minneapolitans, not have it burned down by McAllister students and Northside Minneapolis people. But, and I knew that it wasn't good, but I get here, I'm like, there's no hope. There's no America. And go to Rapid City. Go sit at the Perkins. I mean, it's kind of like the episode in South Park where was it Jared? Not the Subway guy, but there's some guy comes out from the 90s and he's got plaid on and the kids find him and like, well, we got to get you back to 1997. What here you are in 2008. And then they discover Iowa. Like, hey, look, Iowa. There's like a travel brochure. It's like 10 years behind the rest of the United States. You could go there. He's like, oh, go to Iowa. And they send him back to Iowa. Same thing here. They're just so there's not there isn't going any back. There's not finding you're just gonna deal with now they vote Republican, and thank God you're gonna have no state income taxes and you're gonna have your gun rights, and that's all good. But the interaction with the normal day-to-day people, not for my team. Not for you guys, unless you're okay with everything being slow, which you might. But it is sad and shocking how much worse it's gotten in the past 15 years. In the olden days, before the internet, I used to stay in Hot Springs. Atham, look it up. You had to figure out what was going on through word of mouth. So you go to the American Legion, you go to the library, you go talk to the Department of Tourism down in Hot Springs. They got one. And you go and find it out. Now with the internet, you go ahead and find out all this other stuff. But even back then, it was more efficient. Things would start on time. Wasn't as bad a traffic. Of course, Nebraska's came in and slowed down the traffic. Now, no. And I don't even think it's necessarily the who dang diggly do dang digglyvilles. I think it's your millennial Gen Z degenerate fucks. Like, just go to the Walmart. Go to the Perkins on La Crosse Avenue. Drive up north there. Okay. Go to the Southern Walmart, which is the nice Walmart. Go there. You're going to look and you're going to see a bunch of fat, lazy people, predominantly white, which only makes my case more. But yeah, there's some big Indian population out here in South Dakota, in case you didn't know, several Indian reservations. But it's everybody. It's everybody. And it has nothing. And I know the left forces this false paradigm. I hate to use that word because of everything is racial or sexual or groups of people. Oh no, it's everybody. Everybody. It's okay. Maybe you're the trailer park. Maybe you're the barrio. Maybe you're the ghetto. Don't matter. It's all a bunch of single moms collecting welfare checks and a bunch of dumb, dopey, fat guys with no testosterone. And you can see it. You can see it in the younger population. And it's verified in the fact that we can't find anybody to work. There's a place called Marlin's. They got two establishments along the interstate. Interstate 90 runs east-west. And then there's 29 that runs north-south. I think that's it. Those are the only two interstates that go through South Dakota. They intersect at Sioux Falls. Everybody look it up. But Marlin's, like Perkins, was a 24/7 restaurant. And you all give me guff. Oh, Modern Life John and Vince and all those Hanyakers, they give me guff. But it was open and it was reliable. And frankly, I like their food. I'm in defense of Perkins. They almost went bankrupt. I was like, oh my God, no. I love Perkins. I think the food is great. She's her, Claire Perkins. Oh, what are you in high school? You college? You gonna? Well, they're open, they're regular, and they got good food. Marlin's is the same thing. South Dakota and Perkins. And we got Perkins out here too. Not no more, you don't. 6 p.m., that place is closed. And it's sad because Marlin's was a good restaurant. This is what's the town? Blackhawk? It's just on the other side of Rapid City. Atham, look it up. And you could go there and it was 24/7 and you would be, and the reason I like Marlin's is because it's out of town. So you didn't, not that there's a lot of activity going in downtown Rapid City, but the Perkins on La Crosse Avenue, if there's a bad part of town, which there really isn't in Rapid City, it's just a lesser part of town. You go in there, you see some vagabond ragtag type of people. It predominantly is young people who dress like shit and have dyed hair. That's why they don't bother me. I don't want to deal with you. Marlin's, that's off the beaten path. You got to know about Marlin's. You go to nope, you can't go there. They close at 6 p.m. now. It's gotten to the effect that my diet has gone to crap because the only real food you can buy is fast food because at least the franchises have their fucking supply chains in order. So I'm going to Sonic, McDonald's, Taco John's, which is equivalent to Western Taco Bell. And you're looking like, oh, this is the future. And you could see them. The kids who don't want to work take their stimmy checks. And then until Perkins closes at 10 p.m., they're sitting there at Perkins getting their coffee with their blue hair and their pierced nose and their tattoos. Like, oh, you just look like the pieces of shit in Minneapolis. Hey, wow, look at how edgy you are. And like, oh, yeah, this, and oh, of course. Oh, dude, let's be very clear. I don't want to defend single moms and deadbeat dads of any race, all right? But if you think that the single mom welfare thing is purely a minority affair, you got to come out to South Dakota. You got to go out to Wyoming. You will see single mom Susie walking in with her 3 illegitimate bastards. And like, I remember one, okay, I'll even tell you, guys, gather around. Uncle Cappy is going to tell you a story. So I got a piece of shit Chevy Silverado, right? It's a piece of crap. 2003. Well, it's not a piece of crap. It's reliable. All right. And I always judge, like I have a buddy who works at the food bank during the COVID crisis. And he's like, dude, there's people coming in with $50,000 SUVs and Denali's and Escalades and stuff getting food. It's because people. And so I always find it fascinating how poor people always want to buy expensive shit they can't afford. And if my 2003 Chevy Silverado is good enough for me, by God, it's good enough for you. So I'm going to Perkins, right? I'm waiting in line. I'm looking. I should have already turned around and walked back because you knew it was going to be a wait. I don't do waits. I that's for inferior people. We're like, okay, I'll wait 40 minutes to get a pie. We're from South Dakota. So this gal walks in with her son 4 or 5, maybe 6 years old, little kid. And she's like arguing with the guy. Here's the manager. Now he's short-staffed. He's got to wait. He's busy. I had sympathy for him. She's like, well, I thought kids ate free on Friday or Tuesday or whatever it was. No, we ended that like 2 years ago. Oh, she turns around with her kid and walks out. Now, here's the thing. Already Cappy has assessed that this is a poor woman, a single mom, mathematically disadvantaged, although all the world is like bowing down and sucking her dick because strong, independent, single mom, rah, rah, rah. They get in a truck. Now, do you think the truck is a piece of shit truck? You think the truck is something that a poor person would own? And by God, maybe I give her a couple bucks that looks like that needs like a new timing belt. Hey, lady, you might want to go get this checked and your alignment in order or something like. No, fucking Dodge Diesel Ram. Maybe 5 or 6 years old. Like, if I had to do the math, I'm like, when that was new, that was at least a $45,000 truck. And here you are. You can't feed your fucking kid. So you go to Perkins on the free day you thought it was. But then you get in a truck because you got to be the whole dang diggly Dodge diesel Ram truck nuts truck. I don't know why. It's a woman. Usually that's the men's category of compensating for the small, limp dick, redneck penis. But here she got this truck. I'm looking at her like, what the fuck, lady? Like, that was your plan to feed your kid? That's how what it was, is you're going to go get a free meal at Perkins because kids eat for free. And then the time, it's like, well, you came to Perkins. Isn't it worth your time to, like, just go buy it? Ain't it worth it, like, the $4 extra you got to pay for the kid? What's the kid going to eat? He's 6. I don't know what a 6-year-old weighs, 40 pounds? How big can his stomach possibly be? Get some pancakes. It's $5. Still not, but she who dang diggly do, go to Dodge Ram diesel truck. And Sam Elliott ate her out with his mustache. And that's America. That's where you guys want to retreat to. I had a client yesterday. He was from the Dominican Republic. And he's on the East Coast, like all immigrant families force you guys to go to. And like, here we're in America. Yay, you see the Statue of Liberty? Let's live in the second shittiest part of the country called New York. Not California because it's too far away. And he's making his way. He's doing really good, actually. Doing very good in the United States. And he could work remotely. I said, dude, that opens it up. He could go traveling. And he definitely wants to get out of the East Coast. So he's thinking about moving with his brother down south and all that. But he is acutely aware of socialism. He is acutely aware of parasitism. He's like, I got to get out. Well, where are you going to go? I mean, yeah, okay, they vote Republican now, and they like their guns. But you still got to deal with these assholes. You still got to deal with these idiots. And your standard of living, where in some ways would be better, it was very much like Wyoming. Wyoming, beautiful state. I love living in Buffalo, Wyoming. Hated the people. If I could just go in there and kill them all and just have my little apartment in Buffalo, I'd be fine. And so would you. Now, if you go to Buffalo, just so you know, if you go to Buffalo, Wyoming, it is a tourist town, main intersection, interstate and all that, right on and you'll see a lot, like it's very easily where 2/3 of the population during summertime are tourists. But you go there in winter. Go there and see Jessup come and apply for a trailer park loan. I got my mother's cousin's brother's uncle, who's my father's mother's sister's cousin, all the same. Can I pledge her as collateral? She good looking. She got all her teeth. That's the people you get to deal with. And okay, fine. They vote accidentally Republican or conservative or just in general anti-socialist. But how long until they're switched over? How long until they're like, hey, wait a minute here, Ma. We vote for this Biden bill. He gonna give us more money. And then you can't even get the shit. When the quality and caliber of people are that low, this has nothing to do with politics. Nothing. I've talked about this before. If people don't show the fuck up on time and don't do the fucking work, like I've experienced with my house, well, then things don't get done. Your standard of living sucks. You can't go get dinner, and that's the least of your problem. That's a true first world problem. But as these supply chains start to deteriorate, not because Canada doesn't import wood or whatever trade, legitimate COVID-related supply chain restrictions, but you can't find the people. People aren't showing up. People aren't doing their job. Oh my God, I had to send back at least 1/3 of our furniture because they sent us the wrong thing. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't have all the time in the world. The reason I'm taking 2 weeks off, I took a month off to build the house. The amount of error, the amount of screw-ups, the amount of not doing things the right way the first time, let alone on time and on budget, that is what's really going to kill the United States economy. Oh, socialism will help. Oh, the single moms will help. The children's of single moms will certainly accelerate the decline. Don't get me wrong. But people not doing what they say they're going to fucking do on time and on budget, that's going to be the killer. More than taxes. Mark my words. Because I know we all focus on the epic always battle between Republicans and Democrats, capitalists, socialists, producers versus parasites, which you should. But for a second, forget the taxes right now. Let's just say, hey, you're going to do what you said you're going to do? Integrity? Because if you lose integrity at the granular atomic level of the average human being, the average American, your average citizen, your country is fucked. Where you got zero tax rates and you're this wonderful capitalist nation, or 100% tax rates. I mean, at least the Soviets, I'll grant the Soviets this, at least they put forth a good effort. Even though they have both hands and legs tied behind their back in the form of a communist economy, there was absolutely no natural incentives of freedom to actually go and do your best. They actually did maintain standards of living equivalent to 25% of the American population. Right? And that was from ethics, work, maybe idealistically believing in communism, forced labor, whatever. But at least they put forth the effort. Here, it's nothing. Here, it's just sit on my ass, not do nothing. And so, going forward for all you youngins, anybody listening, you're going to have, I would skip, I made a mistake. You know, I'm going to move to Utah. I'm going to move to Montana. I'm going to move to Colorado. I'm going to move to South Dakota. I'm going to move to Wyoming or Tennessee. That will help, but it is a medium-term strategy move. It's not long-term. Because at its core, Americans in general, immigrants or not, natives or not, Republicans stamped on their arm or not, are a bunch of lazy, worthless fucks. And it will not last. It cannot last. Now, it can last a while. You know, you all know me. Aaron, what do you want out of, in retirement at old age? For the electricity to be on. That's it. Now, I'm taking myself out Smith & Wesson retirement plan style. I ain't going to have some immigrant that's been brainwashed to hate my guts because I'm white and I got a penis as like in some kind of a nursing infirmary or nursing home. But I would say instead of like, you got a good job, the lights are still on, you want to like your Silicon Valley company, if you're in New York or New Jersey or Massachusetts or California or Washington, Seattle, and you get work for remote privileges, get the fuck out of there. Yeah, obviously. Go to your Utahs, your Idahos, your Montanas, your South Dakotas, your Nevadas, your Arizonas, and all that. It's better than what you got there. But long term, holy shit, everybody better have a fucking plan to be out of this United States. You got a bunch of idiots with those old. Remember the old? It's all automatic drills now, but the old screws. You move it like that. That's all the United States humans are right now. Your average American is in the Titanic screwing holes into the bottom of the hull. Like, oh, there's water coming out. Durr. No one. Like, this is supposed to be America. There's supposed to be hardworking people who have ethics, morals, and no, they don't. They just like their guns, and they are just as parasitic and stupid as everyone else. There is no way this country is going to last longer than maybe longer than I'm alive, but not much more than that. And so you guys got to go. You got to find some other place. I even talked to the guy from Dominican Republic. Like, do you like the Dominican Republic? Because he was born there. He's like, not really. It sucks. I'm like, are you sure? So go get a passport anyway, man. Just go just do it, because this is not. We are so coasting right now on the hard work and labor of previous people in the past. We're so coasting with the infrastructure. We're so dependent upon the world's reserve currency but it will come to an end. Every empire collapses. Every empire. All right, let's go through the super chats. Nonstop Dre, $2 theory. You deep down still care that why you get angry. I don't care. All right. Operation Evil is going to capitalize on it. I care on a philosophical level. Like, why would you do this? Life is so precious. And why do you people piss it away? And I've advanced my philosophy. I've said, why don't you kill yourself? That's a great question to ask like 85% of people, at least in the West. Why are you even alive? So I don't really care. I find a philosophical quandary, tragedy. What the fuck are you doing here? You go down to the Perkins, La Crosse Avenue. Everyone go north side, Rapid City, go to La Crosse Avenue. Go look at the dipshits. That's like, why are you alive? Go across the street to the Walmart. Why are you alive? You're a fucking rascal. You're buying fucking shitty food. You're not, the mountains are right there. They're right there. The Badlands are 50 miles away. Why the fuck are you alive? I mean, just seriously fucking end it. It's that philosophical thing about like, does nobody value life? Well, and I understand you didn't have a say with your broad and your mom didn't abort you. Okay. Then all of a sudden you're like, you're zero. You don't know what's going on. You're an infant. You got to get consciousness. And it's like, okay, for whatever fates and reason you were brought here, you're here. Nature, God, parents, whatever. No abort. Here you are. Now you want to make it count or not? No one wants to make it count. They want to sit there. And now I won't lie. I got myself a piece of French soaked pie and a double order of bacon over at the Spearfish Perkins. Right. But then I went and did a hike. I rode a motorcycle. Now I did that. I had a little bit of a vice. Okay, Cappy sinned. But that's not my life. This is these people's life. And they're in the Black Hills. It's like fat people in Denver. Like, what? The mountains are right there. Go. So I guess I care on a philosophical level. I don't care about these people. Not at all. Juan the Aztec Patriarch, $2. What state has been your worst experience? California. Absolutely. Absolutely. LA. Driving in LA. I wasn't even in LA. It's coming in from San Diego, driving up to LA. Holy shit. No. California, without a doubt. And I also spent time in San Francisco. Fuck that shit. Well, that's where you're from, Juan. You know it. No, absolutely. That'd be the worst. Even more so than Wyoming, although I did spend more time in Wyoming. But at least Wyoming, there was no traffic. At least Wyoming, you had no state income taxes. You could shoot guns and be left alone. But no, California is the absolute worst. Absolute worst. Scrolling. Keep those doggies. Django Geek, $2. Coronachan podcast back. Shut up and take my money. Yes. Good morning. Coronachan is back. This will be the last podcast for a while. I got to get going in about 20 minutes because the inspector's coming to make sure that the builder did everything right. Now I have died. See how fun it is, boys and girls? South Dakotans, America. Like, hey, there's a crack in this foundation over here. Is that? Let's go get a third party. I'm going to go to court. I'm going to do all this shit. It actually is somewhat liberating because it's just like, oh my God, the people in this country, this state, are so not reliable. And I know I'm sounding hard on South Dakotans, but it's not. They're way better than Minnesotans. There's no doubt about that. It's definitely better, but it's not tenable. It's not sustainable. And so, yeah, it's kind of nice where it's like, oh, okay, all right, this is a temporary life raft. I obviously have to get out of this country because even the best America has to offer is not sustainable. Absolutely not sustainable. Anakita smiles, $5. Do you know if Wyoming is a good place to live? I feel it would be peaceful. I'm in my 20s and work in web development. All right, here, I'll tell you about this, Anakita. If you are a introvert and you're a loner or a hermit, Wyoming is the perfect place. No state income taxes, no traffic, beautiful. If there's a couple places you want to live, I'd stay out of the one leftist part is, oh shoot, what is it? Not Deadwood. What is it? It's by the Grand Tetons. Jackson Hole. You want to avoid that. The people are the dumbest people I've ever met. They are literally the dumbest people I have ever met. And stay out of Casper, Gillette. You want to be in the western mountainous area. And if you like to be left alone, you can buy yourself a cheap piece of property, drill yourself a well, and go to town to get your staples, and that's about it. You work in web development, you may have to make sure they got internet, which is an issue out in the West, and not every place has internet. But yeah, that's it. It's okay to live if you want to be left alone. If you need people, which I kind of do, or you want to interact, that is not, no, you don't want to be in Wyoming. You don't. Feral Android, 20 generous dollars. Aloha from Big Island. Enjoy your vacation. Thank you, Feral Android. New guy, I shall be going off here in a little bit. I'm flying back home. Going to fly back home. Miss my girlfriend. I'm going to go hang out in Wisconsin, visit my dad, my good DNR agent buddy. who's a sweet gal. She's a sweet gal. And she's got my number. She picks on me too. She's like, oh, I can't believe it. You're so Clary. Like, yeah. Wait, well, yeah, I am. Woo, look out. All right, Mexi Mike, $2. Damn it, just got here. What I miss? Oh, well, you can tune in. You can reverse it, Mexi Mike. I'll be throwing this up on SoundCloud. Love that you still care, Uncle Aaron, the asshole dick captain out there spreading the God. I don't care. It's because I'm gonna die, and the whole point is to ask humanity, what the fuck are you here for? And apparently humanity is here just to get fat, drunk, lazy, high, and stupid and breed other children into misery. Apparently that's it. So we're not here for love. We're certainly not here for great sex with all the fat men and women in the world. We're not here for selflessness or altruism. We're definitely not here for the children, because when you girls can't wait to outsource those pieces of shit that came out of your vag. You cannot hate them enough to just shuffle them off. So it isn't each other. It isn't love. So I don't know what the fuck it is. I mean, I'm watching The Great One. The Great One's got this video game he plays online, is Star Wars, and it's meditative, it's calming, it's relaxing. I'm like, oh, I should probably download that too and do it myself. Really? I like Skyrim. I got lost. I'm even thinking about writing fiction, not because I have good fiction ideas for books, but just so I could get lost in my own alternative utopia. I've even thought about writing a Meditations by James, which is defunct now because James Streisand is a worthless millennial fuck and he ain't ever going to get a work ethic. He just can't be relied. And James proved me wrong by actually doing the fucking work you're going to say. But I was thinking about writing, like, okay, here I am. Oh, there's a guy. Is that DT? Hang on. The inspectors are here. I got to get going. They're early, which is shocking. No, it's a tragic question. Tragic question. Why the fuck are people here if you're not going to make it count? And most people don't want to make it count. At least Americans back in the olden days wanted to. Oh, I guess every country had that too. The Spaniards went across, the ocean to go and conquer other nations. Bad things, consequential or not. I mean, at least they did it. Go to the moon. What are people? I don't want to watch the TV and their Netflix. DJ Aftershock, $2. Dude, bro, made a bunch of cash using Tom Vu's system. Who's Tom Vu? Is he a guy? Mexi Mike, $5. If you're bearded, ain't perfectly trim and oiled, your kombucha microbrew, you're just a millennial posing. Also, we have our mentors, boomers, to thank. I'm done with the beards. I start seeing these like commercials. Dude, there's so, okay, Cap, you could accuse me of being a grifter, but I actually charge for legit shit. Oh, by the way, the minimalism course is coming up on the 20th. I'll launch it, you guys. If you're interested, email me. I'll put you on the list. Not a spam list. I'll just email you, here's the link if you want to take it. But when you start watching like Rolo or the guys, there's always like, did you know there's 6 ways that you can't get your dick licked? And let me tell you, there's a major mistake guys make. And they're all bearded. I'm so sick of these bearded millennial fucks. Like, okay, it's over. It's fucking 10 years old. Knock it the fuck off. Take off your thick rim glasses. Stop being Rachel fucking Maddow. I don't want to see your fucking brown shoes with fucking ankle pants that are like 2 inches above your ankle with some blue socks. Fucking knock that shit off. I know. It just screams, I don't want to hit the gym. I got it. We got it, millennials. Go the fuck away. You're over now. It's Gen Z. Move over. Evan Ivor, $2. Why didn't you move to Vegas instead of South Dakota? Why? I got the Southern Command in Vegas. It was really an issue. Where did I want residency? And car insurance is more expensive, but health insurance is more expensive here. So, and I preferred South Dakota over Vegas. I don't know if I'm going to stay in Vegas. They might actually institute a state income tax. And it's hot. It's hot in summer, man. Here, the winters are a little bit easier. I mean, it's like, what do you want to suffer? Summer or winter? Winters aren't that bad here. Swallow Blue, $5. Can I get stimmy checks so I don't have to work? Is like to work on a comic book. Yes, you can get stimmy checks, Swallow. Uncle Biden and Uncle Trump and Uncle Bush and Uncle Obama all printed off the money so you guys don't have to work. But you're in a unique situation, Swallow. Artemis Worm, $2. You ever read Brave New World? No, I have not. I've read very little. Very little. Christopher Surdak for $5 generous dollars. Laziness, the true underpinning of socialism. Yeah, exactly. That's all it is. That's all it ever was. Scrolling. All right, I gotta. Jesus. I only got a lot of super chats. All right, no more super chats, guys, because I gotta get going. Save your money. I'll be gone for 2 weeks. Perfectly all right. But I don't want to have to. I really don't have that much time. Alex Patino, $10. I listened to Rich Dad Poor Dad. I realized that people's logic when it comes to saving, spending habits, and assets versus liabilities is all screwed up, so people will stay poor and never get ahead. I knew a couple that cumulatively made over $300,000 a year. This is like 15 years ago, and they still filed for bankruptcy. They all like if I have a good year, I bank the cash and pay down my debts. I don't. And if you guys ever come visit me, you're like, wow, Cappy, you really don't have a lot of shit. This is it, huh? Yeah, that's it. There's no reason to. I like freedom, not money. Juan Doe, Juan Doe for €2. Cappy, please save the West from the barbarians. No, not my jurisdiction. Mexi Mike, $2. Genius idea, Cappy. What if we do socialism for the 7th time? Well, this time it will work because it wasn't true socialism before. Rahul, hey, Rahul, how you doing, man? Where have you been? Our East Indian agent in the field for 100 rupees. Really enjoyed watching you and George Gammon on the same podcast originally. Yeah, that was a good time. I converted that to the MP3. For those of you who don't know George Gammon, big guy. We ships crossing in the night. Never knew him. While I was on with Rich Cooper, Rollo Tomasi, and George Gammon. And if you go to my SoundCloud, Rich gave me permission to convert that thing into a MP3, so you can find it on SoundCloud. K-Dan, the so not fattest girl in the United States, the only girl who seemingly has her head out of her ass, left Massachusetts for Texas 9 years ago. Best decision. There you go. Good girl. The Black Blur for $5. Jack Donovan says we need to act like barbarians to place that doesn't care about us. That's true. He is also out in the wilderness. I mean, not metaphorically. He actually is in the wilderness. $2 from Samuel Tack. Which state has people that you like the most? It's a good question. I'm thinking Florida. I like Florida. Floridians. I really like Floridians. So far, that's the best place I like. Yep. By leaps and bounds. By a mile, Florida. Alex Patino, $5. Try driving a truck in California. All towed vehicles must have 55 miles per hour. Get a ticket in New England. Barely has any parking for trucks. Right. That's why you make the 6 figs there, Alex. I don't envy you in that position. Mexi Mike's $2. Damn it, Anthem. You had one job. You let one in again. It's $50, $5. Video follow-up. Your move motivated me to finally start my move to Sandia Foothills property. Texas is a cluster. With Sandia in Albuquerque? Sandia Mountain? Okay. I like Sandia Mountain. I like Albuquerque. A lot of people don't, but I don't mind it. The rest of New Mexico sucks. Cynic and Chief, what snide comment do you have now? $5. Went back to work full time at $50 an hour. Here's your cut of the entertainment. Oh, good for you. Well, we're glad. I hope you enjoy your van life there. Alex Cortez for 173 for $5. I've come to the same conclusion. We're living off the infrastructure and hard work of previous Americans. Our current infrastructure is deteriorating. Correct. David Zuvieta, you're a new guy. Welcome to the show. $10. How do you manage your time, Aaron, to do what you want to achieve in your life? I have a to-do list. And here's the thing. I work 80 hours a week. Easy. Now, a lot of that might be chores, working on the house, working on the cars, lifting weights. I consider working because I hate it. But I make sure I don't do a lot of sitting and resting, which is probably a problem, something I got to do and change and work on. But yeah, I just make my time count. And one of these days I'll talk about it. I had this, it's not a theory, but it is what it is. You can't travel in time, but you can warp your time and not wasting your time. And the average person spends what, 4 or 5 hours on the internet watching TV or whatever. I don't do that. And that condenses my time to more effective, productive uses. And then I bunch up all this work, and then I'll take a lot of time off. Like I'll take 2 weeks off to go to Alaska. I'll make my 2 weeks I'm doing now. And then people only see that. They don't see the condensing and the nonstop wake up at 6, don't stop working until midnight. They don't see that. They just, it must be nice driving to all that. Yeah, fuck you, asshole. Fucking earn that shit. But that's how I do it. I do not waste time. Thomas Landrum, our aspiring accounting agent in the... Tom, you losing weight? Look at you. You kind of trimmed down a little bit. They have beard because they don't have a jawline. Yes, they do. That's true. Mexi Mike, come on. For $5, Prosper send off for the Cloud Screaming Xer, but we address as Millennial and Zoomer life coach. Mexican poops. Thank you. Thank you very much for the Mexican poops. GH Fan 234, $3. Thoughts on favorite soda brand or coffee? I like Dunn Brothers. Dunn Brothers is an outstanding coffee chain, although I don't think it's across the United States. I've always loved Dunn Brothers. Good people, good coffee. They must train their people right. My favorite soda is just soda water. I just like soda water. All right, that's it. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Toodles.